Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG Build Guide Edition. Today I'm ready to drop on you my new Shadow Dagger Bladedancer. I just recently finished my Shadow Cascade build, which I'll link at the end of this video, and I thought why not make a different version with Shadow Daggers. As always, we will cover every single facet of the build. Everything is timestamped in the description below if you need to bounce around. Let's not waste any time and jump right into this. Starting off with some gameplay. Now the skills we're using for this are Synchronized Strike, which believe it or not, yes, are going to make Shadow Daggers. Shift, which is going to do Dagger Dance, and yes, make Shadow Daggers. We're going to be using Smoke Bomb, which you guessed it, will also be giving us Shadow Daggers based upon our slow stacks. Shadow Cascade, which is auto-triggered by Shift. Yep, help us with our mana and give us Shadow Daggers. And last but not least, Umbral Blades, which are going to be spinning with our Blade Storms. And yes, Shadow Daggers as well. Very strong build, surprisingly tanky build. And when it comes to DPS, we can actually spec out of some of our damage because we do so much of it to give us more survivability. Just absolutely crushes. Now, even though the build seems similar, this is different than my Shadow Cascade build, what I call my Shadow Master. This, we are really focused in on Shadow Daggers, obviously. And what's great about Shadow Daggers is once 4 of them stack, you get a guaranteed crit. So you never have to worry about crit chance, only crit multiplier. Running into the wall. Yeah, we are just gonna walk through this. And after this fight, we will fight a Shade of Oribus. You are dead. All right. Shade time. Jump out of here, Shade of Oribus. We should absolutely tear him up.
Annihilation! Annihilation! Destruction! This has happened before.
Let me show you how to recreate this build. So now let's check out the skills starting with Synchronized Strike, and pay attention to the order in which I take the nodes. This is how you want to take them if you are leveling it up. For Synchronized Strike, you want to go down first. 4 into Cuts and 1 into Assassination. This is going to give you Shadow Dagger. Then you want to go around, okay? You want to go around, and let me explain. You want 3 into Dynamics, 1 into Shadow Rush, 5 into Foreshadowing, 1 into Dark Allies, then 2 into Art of the Blade, 1 into Coordination. This is how they jump in instead of out. This is much better for single target. And then your last 3 points you're going to put right here in Shadow Rush, which is going to give you some survivability with health gain. Moving over to Shift, one of my favorite skills in the game. You actually want to go down first. So you want 3 points into Velocity, 3 into Momentum, 1 into Lasting Presence, and 1 into Dancing Shadows, because you need to be able to trigger Shadow Cascade through Shift. Then you want to come up, 1 into Unseen Strike, 2 into Broad Sweep, and 2 into Hidden Blades, so that when you hit an enemy, you are always going to be doing a Shadow Dagger, and you're going to be triggering a lot of those 3 Shadow Daggers, waiting for the 4th. Then you want 4 points into Consumed by Shadows, which is going to give you your kill threshold. And then you're going to come down and get some mana regen and vulnerability with 3 into Swift Recovery and 1 into Shadow Slip. So every time you're shifting, you will be able to go through enemies without taking any damage. Moving over to Smoke Bomb. There's lots of different ways to arrange this. I took it DPS. I know, go figure. You actually want to go to the left first. 1 into Thick Smoke, 3 into Eroding Fumes, 4 into Swirling Fog, 2 into Knives in the Dark, which is going to give you Shadow Dagger chance on slow. and you're going to have your slow frequency and your slow stacks right here. You then want to come down, 5 into Lingering Fumes, 5 into Smoke Blades. Shadow Daggers is both melee and throwing, so it's going to benefit from both of these. And then the last point for some survivability, 1 into Shrouded in Darkness. Coming over to Umbral Blades, you want to come to the left first. You want 4 into Downfall, 1 into Sword Thrower, 1 into Lethal Darkness, 1 into Steel, 4 into Torrent, 1 into Loathing. And then you want to come up. This point is very important. Precision Cuts, 1 point. This is where when you throw the dagger, it hits the enemy and stops. If you don't take this point, you'll just be throwing at a certain distance. It's horrible. Come to the right. 2 into Carvings, 1 into Twilight Assault. This allows you to throw a 3rd blade instead of 2. Then come down with your final 5, 4 into Obscurity, 1 into Remnant. Last but not least, Shadow Cascade. You want to go down first, 3 into Dismantle, 1 into Crushing Darkness, 4 into Dagger Dance, 1 into Wrath, 1 into Shadow of Elegance. So important. You got to take this. 100% chance on Dagger Dance. 2 into Dagger Flow, come down, 1 into Onslaught, 2 into Fight in the Shadows. This is going to help you with your mana and keeping your mana recovered. 2 into Shadow Torrent, and then your last 4 into Shadow Flourish. Now, I just want to explain this one skill really quick. If your Shadow Cascade hits 4 enemies, you will get 140% physical damage buff. And that also works with Dagger Dance. So if there's a bunch of enemies around you and you use Shift and hit 4 of them, 140% damage for 4 seconds. This is going to help you with your clear speed. It's honestly great, and it is triggering all the time. Those are the skills. Moving over to the passives. Right now, my Bladedancer is level 90. In the base tree, you want 22 points. 8 into Swift Assassin, 8 into Steady Hand, 1 into Twin Blades, need to be able to dual wield, and 5 into Dodge and Parry for that glancing blow. Moving over to Marksman, 8 into Focus Fire, Dexterity, and Dodge Rating debuff. And then the rest of our points right now, all 73 are into Bladedancer. You want 8 into Cloak of Shadows, 5 into Pursuit, 8 into Once. This is huge for damage, because throwing in melee are both Shadow Daggers. 8 into Shroud in Dusk, again, give you a bunch of survivability. 5 into Blood Dance. This is going to give you Leech on both fronts. Then you want to come around here and take these, okay? 6 into Pack, 5 into Perfection, 5 into Confidence. Again, we are speccing into survivability for this build. 1 point into Veil, which is going to give you a guaranteed dodge when you trigger Silver Shroud. You then want 1 point into Critical Eye. We don't care about this, but we do care about 5 points into All In, which is going to give you 75% critical strike multiplier. We have 1 point into Shadow Master, so we get the extra shadow. 1 point into Exu, which is going to give you more damage and more stacks of perfection. 5 points into Hooked Blades, because we are going to be doing some armor shred with this build. And then I've got 8 points down here into Death's Door. Now again, we don't care about the critical strike chance, but we do care about is less damage taken at low life. This is going to save you from getting one shot, or it's going to save you in those big fights so that you don't die. Right now, what I'm leveling is my next 4 points are going to go into Flash of Steel, so we get more damage and we throw Umbral Blades quicker with dual wielding on throwing attacks. Those are the passives. Moving over to everyone's favorite, which is of course gear. Let's start with idols. Now the idol affix you are hunting for is right here. Physical penetration with Shadow Daggers. You want 4 of these, and they can roll as high as 24%. On top of that, you can get elemental damage, or you can get increased armor shred. That is what you are looking for from your idols. The rest here I've just filled in with life idols, but really physical penetration with Shadow Daggers. Okay, moving over to gear, you will notice that right now I only have a couple of uniques. Technically, I have a Weaver's Will and I've got a Siphon of Anguish. Okay, none of this is required for this build. That's the beauty of it. Not only is it S tier and so strong, it also has no gear requirement. And if you want, they're easy to find as well. You can use a Smoke Weaver. In this case, I like the added damage of just having a regular dagger in, but if you find one with legendary potential, Smoke Weaver's probably best in slot. Okay, let's go around the horn. Helmet, Amulet, armor, ring, belt, ring, relic, boots, gloves, dagger, and sword. And remember, my last build, Shadow Master, used dual swords. This one, it does require a dagger. Okay, so you need to have a dagger with this build in order to get the full Shadow Dagger effect. That is the gear. Moving over to the character sheet. Like I said, we are currently level 90. Dexterity 67, Vitality 7, Movement Speed 56, but after we use Shift, that goes up to 106. Fire, Lightning, Cold, and Necrotic resistances are good. Physical, Poison, and Void need some work. Again, I was power leveled on this build, so I wasn't able to gear it correctly out yet. Armor and Dodge are sitting in a decent place, but know that these get much higher when you are in combat, which I will showcase right now. So when you are actually fighting enemies, this is going to continuously go up and give you a lot more survivability. So you'll see in there, armor's now at 45 and dodge rating got as high as 60%. So you're pretty tanky. When you're looking at our crits, doesn't matter because Shadow Daggers always crits you. What you care about is critical strike multiplier. We are at 448, physical damage 365. Defense is my endurance is horrible. My endurance threshold's okay. That needs work. And my crit avoidance is almost there at 85. Need 15 more. And glancing blow is currently at 31. So we're doing okay. And glancing blow is going to go up when you're in combat and when you're inside of your smoke. That is the character breakdown. So now let's talk sustain. Aaron, this is great. How do I stay alive in endgame? Oh, what a good question. We're going to start off with our skills. Synchronized Strike. You are going to get life based upon your shadows created after you use it, which is going to be happening all the time. So this is going to help you with life. You have Shift, which is going to make you invulnerable, so you can't take any damage when you are shifting. This is going to help you with movement. Smoke Bomb is going to give you some glancing blow and dodge based upon Shrouded in Darkness. And Umbral Blades is also going to give you Dust Shroud at a 48% chance as long as you are hitting an enemy. So you got some sustain inside of your skills. Also, when you look at the passives, you're going to be getting Glancing Blow and Dodge. You are going to be getting more Glancing Blow and more Dust Shroud. Okay. You're going to be getting dodge rating literally everywhere. You're getting double leech rate, and you're going to be stacking dodge and armor based upon perfection. We also have 8 points right here into Death's Door, which is another 24% less damage taken at low life. Now, last but not least, it is not required, okay? But you do have this certain Weaver's Will, the relic for Rogue, which 1 in 6 chance to take 24% less damage per active shadow. And believe it or not, you are going to have shadows all the time. Lots of sustain inside of this build. Last but not least, let's talk leveling. Aaron, this is great. How do I take it from level 1 all the way to end game? Great question. There's 3 skills that you need, and it doesn't matter if you're a marksman or a Bladedancer in the future of Falconeer. These are the 3 skills you want. First skill you want is Cinder Strike. Now, technically, you could use this as a bow, but I like using dual wield. And the 3 nodes you need are right here at the top. Shred, base damage, and area/multiplicative damage. It's all you need to get through the campaign are those 3 skills, and I would throw one over here on Flask, okay? Second skill you want is Shift. Shift does 2 things that is awesome for you. It is going to make you run faster, so you get through the campaign quicker, and it is going to give you a kill threshold. So you get to pick which one you want first. I'd actually probably take kill threshold, then take movement speed, just so you get through those bosses faster. So now you can move quick, and you could do a lot of damage. But what happens if you can't stay alive? Ooh, great question. Third skill you want to take is Smoke Bomb. And on here, all you want to take is a longer duration, and then you want to take some survivability nodes. You can actually go multiple ways. You can go Dust Shroud. You can go down here for more damage. You could take Armor Shred. I normally just go duration, and I want it to be bigger. So this is how I normally take Smoke Bomb. But those 3 skills will get you through the campaign. And when it comes to leveling gear, why are these my favorite skills? Well, Cinder Strike uses fire, obviously, and there is some awesome fire gear you can use. You can use Prism Wraps, you can use Calamity, you can use Firestarter's Torch. You've got your rings to run fast. You got +1 to skills on your belt. You've got the dexterity boots for Bladedancer or Marksman Rogue. You've got Leech on your gloves. You've got Leech on your relic. So there's awesome starting gear as well for this setup. All right, everyone, that's the build guide. What do you think of my new Shadow Dagger Bladedancers? Is there anything I missed? Is there anything I can do to take this to the next level? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. 2 asks at the end of the video. Ask number 1, I'm hoping today is the day I have earned your subscription. I'm hoping today is the day you make the decision to push that little red button. I would really appreciate it, but of course, only if you think I've earned it. And if I haven't earned it, I'm gonna work harder for you. Ask number 2, check out my Patreon. Thank you to the first 91 members that have signed up. I get asked all the time, what's the best way to support? And Patreon is it. It gets you on the VIP lounge. We've actually been playing games in Patreon VIP every single night. Not every night, but lately every night playing a new game. It's always a lot of fun. You get the most bonus content. It supports the channel. Check out the Patreon. Okay, I'm done. Hopefully you were entertained or at least learned something. Aaron.